Ground temperatures in Chongqing hit 158 degrees Fahrenheit. Locals grill and dry meat for fun. Huawei electric car catches fire while charging. Manufacturer denies battery issue. Hong Kong becomes black market hub as semiconductor imports surge. Guangxi village flooded for 4 months. Government response sparks anger. China's economy worsens. Lawyers flock to take the civil service exam. Multiple airlines cancel China routes. China's summer box office to plunge over 40% compared to last year. In addition to heavy rains and floods across many areas of China, some regions are experiencing extreme heat. In Chongqing, Sichuan province, on August 28th, the temperature at noon reached a scorching 42 degrees Celsius, 107 degrees Fahrenheit, with the ground temperature soaring to 70 degrees Celsius, 158 degrees Fahrenheit. People are joking that Chongqing has turned from a mountain city to a flaming mountain, with signs saying, "With 42 degrees Celsius in autumn, everyone in Chongqing is well done." According to weather reports, as of August 28th, Chongqing has experienced temperatures of over 40 degrees Celsius, 104 degrees Fahrenheit for 8 consecutive days, and the forecast shows that this extreme heat could continue for the next 3 days. The heat lasts from morning until night in Chongqing. Even early in the morning, when people head to work, they face temperatures as high as 35 degrees Celsius, 95 degrees Fahrenheit. Before they even start working, they're already sweating. Many shopping districts are using the heat wave as a chance to display witty slogans on outdoor billboards, such as, "Everyone, please say something cool to make the weather cooler." One person joked, "I wanted to take a cold shower, but the water coming out of my faucet is boiling hot." To show just how hot it is in Chongqing, some people are putting a pan on the ground. Oil starts smoking in just 7 minutes, allowing them to fry eggs right on the spot. Facing such high temperatures, some Chongqing residents are trying to make the best of it, sharing on social media how they're using the heat to dry fruits, make jerky, or even grill meat and fry eggs. People are saying things like, "What can you do with 44 degrees in Chongqing? Of course, make dried apple slices." And "It feels like a waste to not dry some meat in this weather." Because the heat is unbearable, many Chongqing residents are driving out of the city to escape it, causing traffic jams on the highways. To avoid the heat, schools in Chongqing have delayed the start of the school year until September 8th. Chongqing, located in the Sichuan Basin, has been suffering from continuous high temperatures recently. On August 18th, Chengdu in Sichuan province even saw the rare sight of 7 suns in the sky. Some joked, "No wonder it's so hot, the suns are having a gathering." And "Maybe there are 3 more hiding behind the clouds." Chongqing has bid farewell to a summer of 38 degrees Celsius, 100 degrees Fahrenheit, only to welcome an autumn of 40 degrees Celsius, 104 degrees Fahrenheit. On August 27th, a video circulated online showing a Wenjie M5 electric car catching fire while charging in an open parking lot in Ganzhou, Jiangxi province. The fire was intense, with flames and thick smoke pouring from the vehicle. Flames were also visible under the car, and at one point the front of the vehicle exploded. After the fire was extinguished, the car was severely burned. The video quickly triggered the Chinese government's stability maintenance mechanism, leading to its swift removal from the internet that same day. According to screenshots of a conversation, one netizen posted the video on the Douyin platform at 2 p.m. that afternoon, only to have their account silenced for 7 days within 20 minutes. Douyin cited involvement in promoting explicit content as the reason for the ban. The Wenjie electric car is produced by Ceres Auto, but the smart driving technology is provided by Huawei. Due to Huawei's connections with the Chinese Communist Party, CCP, often referred to as the party's assets, Wenjie has been a key focus of government protection. On the evening of the 27th, Ceres Auto issued a statement on Weibo stating that the incident occurred at 12:30 p.m. in a parking lot on Fengling Avenue in the Nankang district of Ganzhou. The statement claimed no one was injured and the battery pack did not catch fire or burn. Chinese-made electric vehicles, which the government strongly supports, have frequently experienced battery fires and explosions, raising concerns about significant safety risks. Serres' statement emphasizes that the battery pack did not catch fire. This has sparked various speculations. Netizens are skeptical of this explanation, with some suggesting that the company might be lying to avoid addressing battery quality issues. Comments included, "If it's not the battery, then why did it catch fire?" And the chassis was on fire, yet they say the battery didn't ignite. Some speculate that the fire could have been caused by overheated wires during high-power charging. Others mocked the situation, saying, "So does this mean that the Huawei cars might catch fire from something other than the battery pack? And are they implying that there's an even bigger issue that hasn't exploded yet?" One person added, "It's alarming that a Huawei Wenjie car could catch fire for unknown reasons. There's no way to prevent it." On August 27th, Hong Kong's Census and Statistics Department released data showing that the city's exports in July reached 390.4 billion Hong Kong dollars, the highest since September 2022, with the trade deficit narrowing to 21.8 billion Hong Kong dollars. While exports to China saw a year-on-year increase of 23%, exports to other regions slowed down, with declines in exports to the US, Taiwan, Japan, South Korea, India, and the UAE. On the import side, the value of goods imported by Hong Kong from Taiwan and South Korea increased by 20.6% and 34.4% year-on-year, respectively, reaching 50.2 billion Hong Kong dollars and 20.4 billion Hong Kong dollars. Both Taiwan and South Korea primarily produce semiconductor products and electronic equipment. According to data from the Taiwanese government, 75% of the goods exported to Hong Kong are semiconductor electronic equipment. An assistant professor in the Department of Financial Management at Southern Taiwan University of Science and Technology, Zhu Yuezhong, noted that Hong Kong does not have such a high demand for these products, suggesting that they are likely not for local use. In late March, the U.S. suddenly announced an upgrade to its restrictions on China's access to advanced AI chips and chip manufacturing equipment, citing national security reasons. These restrictions were swiftly implemented in early April. Zhu Yuezhong pointed out that in response to the U.S. expanding its embargo, it is highly likely that China is using Hong Kong as a re-export hub, particularly for semiconductor-related products. With the U.S. tightening controls on China, including not only chips, but also HBM high-bandwidth memory, these products may fall within the scope of U.S. restrictions. An associate researcher at Taiwan's Institute for National Defense and Security Research, Shi Jianyu, added that in addition to chips, AI servers are also strengths of Taiwan and South Korea. Due to their high unit price, even a small quantity can significantly boost import values. Shi Jianyu believes that these servers may not only be re-exported to China, Russia might also be looking to import these items through Hong Kong. Since Russia cannot obtain these highly advanced AI servers or CPUs elsewhere, and they are unavailable in China as well, it may be attempting to purchase them through the black market via Hong Kong. Additionally, the value of Hong Kong's exports to Taiwan, which saw a year-on-year increase of 35.3% in June, turned to a sharp decline of 4.9% in July. Shi Jianyu explained that since the COVID-19 pandemic, trade volumes between China and Taiwan, as well as between Hong Kong and Taiwan, have consistently decreased. This is largely due to many foreign and Taiwanese businesses, which originally invested in China, relocating their production to Southeast Asia during the pandemic. Shi Jianyu commented, "In this situation, China has fewer goods to export, and the volume of goods naturally continues to decline. From this perspective, China's economy seems to be in a very poor state. This is also why there has been criticism of Xi Jinping's recent Central Committee meetings, which were either poorly conducted or delayed. I think many of the CCP leaders find these economic problems very difficult to solve." He believes that China's economy is currently in its worst condition in over 40 years, and if it continues to deteriorate, it could potentially trigger a financial crisis. On August 27th, villagers from Xincheng County in Guangxi Province called for help, reporting that since April this year, heavy rains have flooded Li'an village. The floodwaters have not receded and have continued to rise, reaching homes in May. Now, more than 4 months later, the lowest-lying homes have been flooded up to the second floor. The villagers are living in extremely difficult conditions. Some have been forced to stay in a nursing home in the town, while others have taken refuge with relatives. Currently, the villagers rely on boats to get around. After this news came to light, the local government responded, stating that various departments are working on the issue. The county's Water Resources Bureau explained that a preliminary investigation found that a blocked underground river is causing drainage problems. They are currently in the process of bidding for flood drainage projects, and drainage work will begin once the bidding process is completed. A netizen posted a video angrily criticizing the Guangxi government for its inaction, saying, "This is absolutely outrageous and shocking. This is a clear example of inaction. A village in Guangxi has been flooded for 4 months, and the official response is, we're in the bidding process, and once it's completed, we can start draining the water. So if the bidding takes a year, does that mean the villagers will have to stay submerged for a year?" This news has shocked many netizens, with comments such as a Guangxi native, I didn't even know about this. There's been no media coverage in Guangxi so far. 4 months. If they had scooped the water out one bucket at a time, it would have been gone by now. And the fact that this information was suppressed for 4 months and is only now being reported shows that government officials were not inactive. They were busy suppressing the news. Recently, a list of candidates for civil service positions in Nanjing for 2024 showed that all individuals selected for roles in the court, procuratorate, disciplinary commission, and judicial offices were from law firms. With China's severe economic downturn, the legal profession has also been hit hard. Many lawyers, facing fewer cases and lower incomes, are being forced to switch careers by applying for civil service positions. Since the beginning of the year, the trend of lawyers applying for civil service roles has intensified. Many judicial system recruits across different regions are now lawyers. However, a few years ago, the situation was quite the opposite, with judicial system personnel leaving to become lawyers due to the higher income in private practice. James Lai, a former Beijing lawyer and pro-democracy activist living in Canada, explained that there are 2 main reasons why many lawyers are now switching to civil service. One is the increasing professional risks lawyers face in China, and the other is the decline in their income. Lai pointed out that as the Chinese Communist Party, CCP, tightens its authoritarian rule, it is increasingly interfering with the legal profession. Lawyers' choices regarding case intake, case handling, and even defense strategies for so-called sensitive cases are all being overseen by the Judicial Bureau and regulatory offices. Lai further explained that a significant portion of legal work used to come from foreign businesses. However, in recent years, the CCP's retrogressive policies have led to a severe economic decline, reducing overall economic activity. This includes the mass withdrawal of foreign investment, which has sharply reduced related legal work, leading to increased competition. He added that in the past, people from the public security and judicial sectors would leave to become lawyers, but now many lawyers are seeking to become civil servants again, returning to the public security and judicial systems. This shift reflects the worsening environment for the legal profession in China. According to official Chinese data, from January to July this year, 17.25 million foreign tourists visited China, a significantly lower number than the 49.1 million visitors in 2019 before the pandemic. A report by the East Asia Forum, a research site focusing on Asia-Pacific affairs, suggests that geopolitical tensions and the Chinese government's increased control over social regulations are causing concern among foreign tourists. A July poll by the Pew Research Center revealed that in 35 surveyed countries, more than half, including the US, Germany, France, and the UK, held a negative view of China. This year, many airlines worldwide have canceled flights to China. Airlines from Australia, the UK, the Philippines, Brunei, and other countries have announced the suspension of flights to cities like Beijing and Shanghai. Recently, British Airways announced that due to a decrease in the number of passengers traveling to China, flights from London to Beijing will be suspended for a year starting October 26. Virgin Atlantic, the UK's second-largest airline, announced an indefinite suspension of its London to Shanghai route. Previously, the airline had already indefinitely suspended flights between London and Hong Kong and closed its Hong Kong office. In July, Royal Brunei Airlines announced the suspension of flights to Beijing, and Qantas Airways announced in May that it would suspend its Sydney to Shanghai route starting July 28th. Delta Airlines, which had planned to resume its Los Angeles to Shanghai route in the fall, also cancelled these plans. Taiwanese financial expert Huang noted that these developments are mainly due to the significant decline in the number of people traveling to and from China, influenced by supply and demand considerations. Another factor could be the stricter visa scrutiny, aimed at preventing capital outflows. Additionally, the ongoing trade and technology wars between the US, Europe, and China, along with China's national security law, have made countries wary of investing in China, leading to a decline in travel and business needs. According to data from Cirium, the number of flights departing from China in July was 23% lower than the same period in 2019. Flights between the US and China are currently at only about 20% of their 2019 levels. American economist Davey Huang stated that the withdrawal of Western airlines from the Chinese market is not a favorable development for China's economic growth or its future diplomatic and political policies. According to data from China's movie box office platform, Lighthouse Pro, as of 10:45 p.m. on August 24th, the summer movie season's total box office, including pre-sale tickets, just surpassed 11 billion RMB. It is estimated that by the end of August, the total box office for the summer period will reach only 12 billion RMB. This represents a decline of at least 40% compared to the 20 billion RMB recorded during the same period last year, which was a historic high. Earlier, when the box office surpassed 10 billion RMB on August 18th, state media outlets like CCTV heavily promoted the achievement. However, the Chinese film blogger Man Yingkeng recently pointed out that the 10 billion RMB milestone shouldn't be seen as good news. Excluding the 3 pandemic years, this year's summer box office has regressed to the levels of 10 years ago. Financial blogger Guangtou Baizhu directly attributed this summer's box office slump to the fact that audiences simply have less money in their pockets. Some netizens have also shared their reasons for not going to the movies this year. One mentioned that the economic downturn last year has had a noticeable impact, with many finding ticket prices of 40 to 80 RMB too expensive. Others pointed out that movies released in July are available on streaming platforms by August, making it more appealing to watch them at home rather than going to the cinema. Additionally, this summer's box office performance was strongest for comedies, nearly reaching 5 billion RMB. However, Chinese director Lu Chuan expressed his concern, lamenting that the dominance of comedies in China's film market reflects a cultural tragedy. While comedy itself isn't to blame, the prevalence of cheap comedies in China reveals a lack of humanity, conscience, logic, and aesthetics in the content. He noted that in times of social and historical hardship, comedies tend to flourish because audiences seek painless escapism, akin to taking anesthetics to forget the pain.